I want to talk about something you've heard me talk about a lot, which is your relationship with exercise actually healthy? And how do we define healthy? So that is in some ways a personal thing. What people have time for, what people have access to, how much we're prioritizing it. But for our purposes today, I want you to think about how much you are thinking about it, how much you are flexible around your relationship to exercise and movement. And what does that flexibility look like? Does it look like I'm so exhausted, I'm going to skip this workout to sleep? Healthy. Does it look like I'm so exhausted, but if I don't work out, I won't be able to eat lunch? Unhealthy. Does it look like I can't hang out with my friends or go out to dinner because I didn't exercise this morning because I was tired? Probably a little unhealthy and isolating in that example. So many of us have been told more is better. No rest days was so popular for so long. We know the science around that disproves this. We also know that more is not necessarily better. Diversifying what we do is good. Lifting is good for your bones, especially if you're a woman. But finding joyful movement that you like, finding a community can be something that keeps you motivated. The goal is really what brings you pleasure in the way you move your body, and what can you sustain, what feels doable for you, and not what the outcome is. Although the outcome can matter. I do not think it is fair to say that if you're focused on the outcome, that's unhealthy. As you know, I'm a marathon runner. I am somewhat of a retired triathlete in this season of life. But I think the outcome does matter. My outcome sometimes is, do I feel grounded? Do I feel good? Is this time for myself? Do I get to see my friends when I'm running? Sometimes my outcome is about numbers. I want to push myself to run faster, and that's okay. And I'm also here to say that if the outcome is to change your body and that's your motivation, that's okay too. I think that we have demonized that as a motivation in a way that makes it inaccessible for some people to start exercising. If you want to find a movement practice because you want to change your body, I think that's okay. I think that you should recognize your body very well may not change, but you might feel differently in your body. You might feel less winded walking up the stairs. You might feel like you could carry more groceries. And those are bodily changes. They might not change how you look, but it absolutely changes how you feel, which is important. And it's part of a movement practice. You want things to feel easier, you have to practice at them. So when I stopped criticizing every workout, I think my movement practice got healthier. So yes, I'm setting a goal, and sometimes running doesn't feel great, and that's okay because I know I'm putting in the work. Sometimes running doesn't feel great for so long that I know I have to take a break from running. I think being healthy means being connected to our bodies, being connected to our goals, and not letting any one part of our lives, including our movement practice, exercise, training, whatever you want to refer to it as, take over, because it's just one part of your life. Signs of disordered exercise or unhealthy relationship to exercise are things that I often talk about: ignoring pain, not taking a rest day, not being flexible, not finding other ways to emotionally cope with things that are going on, not being able to recognize when you need to either pivot from something you're doing, when you're injured and you need to take a rest. All of those things, when we have a little bit of a, like, what I call static in our brain, it would be better if I took a rest day, and then you ignore it. Ignoring all that static is how injuries happen, is how these unhealthy relationships to our bodies get solidified. So I want you to tune into that static. Oh, I'm really tired. Maybe I should take a rest day, and listen to it. And take the rest day, pivot, do cross training or whatever. Sleep in instead of waking up early, or go to sleep early instead of going to the gym. Those are all a really healthy way to connect to your brain, to connect to your body, and to improve your relationship with movement.